Welcome back, YouTubers, and we're going to continue our discussion with e-bikes, the homemade versus the nice fancy Pedigo. Um, both of these are for seniors, and I'm going to talk specifically about these e-bikes for seniors because great advantage for seniors. We're out on the Pacific Electric Trail between Upland and Fontana, California, and these are both bikes have 48-volt batteries. The Pedigo has LG cells in the battery. Obviously, my Chinese made battery, and I'll show you a little bit more about that later, has some generic Chinese cells. That is a 21 ampere-hour battery or 20 ampere-hour battery on my bike, and the Pedigo has I believe a 16 ampere-hour battery. The Pedigo is working a lot harder because it has a 750 watt motor and I'm running a 1500 watt motor. But basically, my wife is running hers at pedal assist 3, I'm running at pedal assist 1. So we're basically, I'm using about 150 watts and she is using about 350 watts. So when you look at it, probably kind of evens out. But I'll tell you, there's a big difference in these cells, the LG versus the generic Chinese. And I'll tell you about some of the advantages and disadvantages of making your own bike versus buying the fancy bike. So we will get into it at the end here. We're doing some voltage testing right now, and it should be no surprise that those LG cells are holding up a whole bunch better here at mile number 20 than are the generic Chinese cells. Voltage wise, quite a difference. Her bike's still at 53 volts, mine is at about 50 volts. So we will get more into it at the end of the ride. Thank you. And that was good. Done with the ride for today. A little less than 30 miles, and that was good. Mostly pedal assist. Obviously some throttling through there, but mostly pedal assist. And just to let you know, I want to talk about the batteries. I want to talk about the pluses and minuses of, this pretty thing here versus the Godzilla bike over there, the homemade version. But first, I just want to let you look at the displays here. You see my wife's display there, if you'll notice, and check the voltage. And you see her battery's still full, and if you look at mine, you'll notice it shows half, which really isn't a true indication of anything, but we can go through and you can see I'm just a little over 1,000 miles. I'll explain why I said that in a second, but it actually shows 977 miles, but for the first 200 miles I was at the wrong setting, so it was only getting half of what I was doing. But you can see it's at 48.5 volts now. I checked my wife's. We checked it both with the voltmeters, and then you check them on the displays. Well, the displays were very accurate, so there was no need to leave the voltmeters hooked up. So the displays were accurate, and hers right now is still sitting at about 52.5 volts, and you can see mine at 48 volts. And like I said, my battery is supposedly a 21 ampere hour, and hers is a 16 ampere hour battery, both 48 volts. She's running a 750 watt hub motor. I'm running a 1500 direct drive motor. So no gears in there. Hers is geared. They sound-wise exactly the same, identical, just a little whirling sound, almost nothing else. But I wanted to talk about the battery. Like I said, my batteries are generic Chinese cells. They are not name brand LG cells as come in the Pedigo. And these LG cells, that shows you the difference right there in what you're getting. Even a 16 ampere hour battery like she has is probably going to outdo this this generic Chinese cell, and I'll show you a little bit of information on that cell, on the battery here in just a second. Anyway, I wanted to show you the battery that I bought on eBay. Says it's currently unavailable. It's called UUP, the Triangle Battery. There are a lot of others that are similar to that online here. Different names, Cowell and all these stuff. But that's the one I bought. It's called UUP. That's what they call it, UUP Battery. And yeah, I think it was about 300 and it was probably $350. Let me click on this one here. Okay, well, different number, but yeah, it was about $350. But there was no shipping on it. I don't know why this one. Yeah, you know what? It's COVID and people want these things for e-bikes, so obviously you got people out here gouging a little bit. But that's the battery I bought there from the U.S. warehouse, obviously, and that was part of the reason I bought it. It came from a U.S. warehouse. So anyway, all the batteries are pretty much the same. Those triangle batteries that you're going to see on Amazon and eBay. This is the manual that comes with it. Fairly generic. A lot of misspellings and that kind of thing, miswording. So, like I said, it's not bad, but you know, when you look at it and you look at the difference in these bikes, you know, I'm a tinkerer. I'm also very tight with my money, so this is why I already had this bike. I didn't want to buy another bike, so I just, the heck with it, you know, let me go ahead and you know, make one. So basically what I got in the kit was this, the hub, the motor with the wheel. That comes in the kit. What do they call it? The regulator, the controller, comes in the kit. You've got a display, throttle, switch to control the display, and you can look at your mileage and all that kind of stuff, the voltage of the battery, and kind of let you know what's going on. But I wanted to talk a little bit about these bikes, and specifically for the senior community. My wife has bad knees. She has two bad knees, and both of them are going to have to be replaced eventually. And she's not able to do the aqua aerobics right now because the gym is closed. And this is one of the things that she found that she could do, and it was really, really great. I basically like to change it up between the gym and riding my bike, and we have a lot of hills here, and I basically will ride up towards Mount Baldy, as you can see back there in the background. You basically ride up towards there, and I do a lot of uphilling. And since I have a bad ticker, it's nice to have a little bit of a pedal assist. These will help you. You'll actually still continue to pedal, but these will assist you. These will give you a little bit. Basically what I do is in pedal assist one mode, I'm usually using about 160 watts out of the 1500 that are available. So it's giving me a little bit of a boost, and I'm still working up a sweat, and I'm just not getting my heart rate up to the 170 anymore. It stays around 140, which is where the doctor wants it. So that's a good thing. These things are fantastic for seniors. I'm going to tell you, you haven't been on a bike in a long time, this is the way to go. You will love it. They're similar in operation. Both of them have the half twist throttle there. Hers is a 7-speed, obviously. Mine is still set up as a 21-speed configuration. Although I can't use the biggest cog there because the derailleur gets too close to the motor. So it is what it is. But I tell you what, the kit is probably, if you don't mind tinkering with stuff, if you love to tinker with stuff, it's a good way to go. I got to tell you, the battery, like I said, is about $350. That kit's going to run you somewhere between $150 and $190. So you're in it for a little bit of money. If you've already got the bicycle, that's great. On the other hand, if you want the beauty and you're not looking to have a Frankenstein bike like this one, you know, the rack is from the Dollar Tree, and I do have a wooden rack if I'm going to put bigger stuff on there, and a cargo net that goes over. But this bike here comes with everything you could possibly imagine. This obviously is an add-on, but in addition to this being storage where you could actually put your helmet in, it has saddlebags in the side here that actually you unzip this and the saddlebags come down, and you can load those saddlebags with all kind of groceries or whatever else, your picnic lunch. It is a fantastic bike. I will say that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Both of these have cadence sensors on them. They are not torque sensors, so basically it senses how fast you are pedaling, and then it kicks in to stay up with you and give you a little bit of a boost. It doesn't do what the torque sensor does to see how hard you're pedaling and then assist you. This goes by speed. So it has a little cadence sensor on this side here. You'll see it. That's it right there. And then there's 8 magnets in there, and then there's a little sensor down there, and it just every time it knows how fast you're going, and away you go. So basically that's it. I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up for electric bikes, whichever way you want to go. If you want to make your own, you want to go with the pre-built version. It's kind of like I can't say that that's the Cadillac version, but that is they do a fantastic job, and they are very customer oriented at Pedigo. So like I said, I already had a bicycle, didn't want another bicycle. So, and I'm a Type 5, yes. So that's the way it goes for me, and I'm very happy with the outcome on this bike. Everything I ordered from U.S. warehouses here in Chino, California, which isn't maybe 12 miles away. So just the way it was. I talked about the battery. I talked about the battery. If you want to buy a battery with really good cells, it's going to cost you probably $150 more than that. But I tell you, it would be worth it. These triangle batteries, and this one, I'm going to put a link to it in the description if you want to buy it. Yeah, it's okay, but it is not what you're getting here on Pedigo. The LG cells make all the difference in the world. The good cells, they do make a difference. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to tell you, if you're over 60, 65, whatever, and you want to exercise and you want a bike, do the e-bike thing. You will love it. So for now, I'll leave you with that, and I'll see you on the next one, YouTubers.